Manoe good morning, and how are you, faithful? Captain Niner coming to you with your captain and coffee, and we do have coffee today. Morning report for 3/24, 2025. It's Monday. I hope everybody had a good weekend. Unfortunately, it's time to get back to work and all that kind of stuff. Honestly, not a whole lot really happened over the weekend, and honestly, there's not going to be a whole lot of new stuff coming out or anything like that for the next, I don't know, 3 weeks or so. But the only big thing that's really going to show up is, excuse me, is going to be the signing of Brock, or maybe some of the few other the free agents that are out there. Otherwise, it's just going to kind of be a recap almost every day of the same thing every day. So it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be a truck here for the next 30 or so days until we get really close to the draft, minus some other big news that could possibly hang up. So let's get through what we got for today. So to start the day with, it's because I had already hit it. All right, to start the day with, we've got some people with numbers. Um, Long snapper John Weeks is going back to his 46, which was formerly worn by the previous long snapper, Taylor Pepper. Mac Jones is going to be wearing number 10, formerly worn by wide receiver um, Ronnie Bell. I was kind of hoping that we would draft Kyle Williams, wide receiver out of Washington State, and he could wear number 10. I just think that'd be funny, and that'd be like the only way to actually break the curse of the number 10. Obviously, with some of the other people that have won 10 with Jimmy and stuff like that, like we needed a legitimately curse breaker like that. But that will be Mac Jones wearing his usual number 10. And then Ricky Pearsall is changing his number from 14 to number 1, obviously formerly worn by Debo. Not a big surprise. Pearsall has wore number 1 in college and all that, so he probably wants to go back to his old number. All right. And some bad news about defensive end Drake Jackson, who has been hurt for the last, feels like, almost 2 years. And according to Tim Kamakami, it just seems like his chances of getting in the NFL are fading away. That's the reason why he's kind of faded in this show. They used a second round pick on a defensive end 2 years ago, and he's basically delivered very little. He might not play this season or ever again. And with that injury, it sometimes can be a career killer type of an injury. Um, I don't know. It's because he had his rookie year, he faded down the stretch. He had never played more than, I want to say, 11 games in his career, and he was going to end up playing like almost 20. So part of me gets that. You know what I mean? If as a rookie, if you're coming in and the most you've played in college and in the NFL is 11 games, and all of a sudden you're in a deep playoff run in the NFL and you're at 20 games, you probably you probably don't understand how to take care of your body, even with all the help, and that you can get from the trainers and everything there, and your body just wears down. I was perfectly okay with accepting that. I was like, okay, I get that. You wore down at the end. It's just almost a double a season, which you're used to. I get it. And then came his rookie year, or excuse me, his second year. And in that first game against Pittsburgh, he had 4 sacks and then 2 sacks the next week, and then absolutely disappeared. Granted, now he did get hurt, but we have not heard anything from him. He's kind of spent the last almost 2 years rehabbing, and I guess it's just not coming together for him. And it's terrible to hear. It sucks for him as a person and for the 49ers because, again, we did spend good draft capital as a second-round pick with him, but hopefully things, he gets better. He comes back there. He shows something for the faith that, we had for drafting him. You know what I mean? This isn't any indicative of him as a person that, injuries happen. It's the same thing with BA. A lot of people get down on BA because he got paid and he got hurt. It's not like he wasn't trying. He was trying. He got hurt. Same thing with Drake Jackson. It's not like he was out there just being pathetic and not trying or, just failing constantly. He got hurt. So we'll never know. But again, that's the sad thing to hear about one of our defensive. Remember, since 2020, we've only spent 4 draft picks on defensive linemen, which is pretty sad for a team that wants to have itself be known as a team that's built in the trenches. 4 people. Come on, Kyle, Lynch, all you guys. That's pathetic to have only 4 draft picks since 2020. All right, again, with that there's not going to be a whole lot of content to cover minus a big Brock Purdy, I guess you can say trade because that idea is still out there, or his contract signing. we still have 32 days until the NFL draft. So again, content's going to get a little wacky. It's going to be a little weird at times. There might be a time where I take 2 or 3 days off just because literally I don't want to talk about the same thing every day over and over and over. But just as a reminder, as what we've got coming in the NFL draft, we've got pick number 11 in the first round. In the second round, we've got 43. In round 3, we have pick 75 and pick 100. In round 4, we have pick 113 and 138. Round 5, 147 and 60. And then round 7, we've got 227, 249, and 252. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We have 11 picks right now. Ideally, me drafting, I would draft down and pick. So I would draft down from the number 1 overall pick to say whoever's picking at number 16, 17. And then I would take, that pick and then whatever else we got, probably a third, fourth kind of a thing. And then I would pick again. And then at 43, so I'd pick it, say 17. So I'd pick number 17 after trading down. And then when we got to 43, I would trade down to 43 unless there was someone there that we absolutely love type of situation, obviously. And then after that, I would trade down from that to say, 48 to 50. And then just stockpile third and fourth round draft picks. Because I want to see, so we got 11 picks. I want to see almost close to 15 picks come out of this draft. We need lots of shots at things, especially in the defensive line, which I think we are going to go heavy at. Like I said, I want 3 defensive tackles and 2 defensive ends out of this draft. That's 5 right there. We still need to find a linebacker, more likely a safety, probably a tight end or 2, a running back. So we need a lot of things out of this draft, and this is a good draft to be getting these needs in because it's a pretty deep draft in general. So, like I said, we'll see how it goes out. Again, it's going to get a little weird around here just because every day I'm not going to want to talk about the same thing. And I'm sure you're not going to want to see me talk about the same thing every day. Now, granted, once we get down to about 10 days to the draft, we'll start doing other stuff. But until then, it's going to be a slog, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so for the rest of the day here, we've got nothing going on over at Niner Faithful Radio. And then tomorrow, you'll see my pretty face bright and early once again. And then me and TJ will be live on 4:30 on Niner Faithful Radio and all of those social media outlets. All right, until then, Faithful, kick Monday's ass.